We may squirm in our seats when we reflect on today's gospel reading. Jesus tells us if we break even the least of the laws, we will be the least in the kingdom of heaven. He warns us about anger leading to murder, about lustful looks leading to adultery, about the consequences of divorce and taking false oaths. Jesus warns that breaking big laws begins with breaking the little laws. He calls us to a higher standard in the first place, encouraging us to prune all evil, all sin from our lives. Are you a list maker? Do you enumerate all the things you have to do and then tick them off one by one until your list is accomplished? When the laws that govern our lives are formulated in list form, we may also experience a great sense of satisfaction as each law is observed. Faithful observance can be very satisfying, but Jesus insisted that the law was simply not enough. Jesus did not abolish the law, but used it as a launching pad to propel his followers beyond the mere letter of the law, however demanding that might be, to the spirit of the law, which can never be satisfied or fulfilled. Imagine if you were there at the Sermon on the Mount as Jesus challenged his would-be disciples to a holiness that presumed the law and reached far beyond it. Imagine being told that perfect legal observance is not enough, but it's a good start. No doubt many were disappointed. Others might have been disillusioned. Some may even have been angry. But there were others who were able to look with Jesus beyond the law to the loving God who inspired it. Those who accepted Jesus' challenge would begin to frame their lives with new questions like, what more can I do? What more can I become? How far will love's labors lead me? With a series of 6 of what scholars call antitheses, 4 this week and 2 next week, Jesus extended 1, the law against murder, to include hatred, scorn, and litigiousness. Jesus extended 2, the law against adultery, to include both genders, as well as lustful desires and scandal. Jesus extended 3, the law concerning divorce, to include fewer exceptions. And Jesus extended 4, the law against false oaths, to include thorough integrity, such that yes always means yes, and no always means no. Well, that leaves out every politician in our country, I think. With each antithesis, it becomes increasingly clear that people are valued more than legal observance, and that our relationship with God hinges heavily with the relationship we have with each other. Nowhere is this more evident than in verses 23 and 24, where Jesus says that worship depends on mutual respect among the worshipers. Offering gifts to God is insincere if we withhold forgiveness from one another. In this, Jesus echoes the prophets of old like Amos and Isaiah and Jeremiah. But, and a big but, Jesus was the first to make such conduct a requirement, a requisite for membership in the kingdom he was bringing near. Until the reign of God is established and acknowledged in every human heart, Jesus continues his challenge to believers to move beyond the listed obligations of the law to that realm of grace where love knows no limits.